his deceased wife suddenly appeared in their home. She cooked, did laundry, and tidied up as usual, yet never uttered a single word. The husband couldn't touch her or communicate with her. She simply went about her housework in silence. Even stranger, only he could see his wife. Not even their daughter could see her. When the father repeatedly asked his daughter to confirm his wife's presence, she began to worry about his mental state and considered sending him to a psychiatric hospital. The father was deeply aware of how he had neglected his wife over the years due to work. He asked if she had something to tell him, but she continued with her chores without responding, as if she had long grown accustomed to a solitary life. His friend said, "Though I can't see her, I believe these are your wife's memories. You're witnessing the remnants of her life." The next day, when his wife hurriedly left the house, he quickly followed to see where she was going. The moment she emerged from the hospital, he understood. This was the very day 3 years ago when she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. He had been too busy with work that day to answer her calls. Watching his helpless wife, his eyes welled with tears. Without his wife, his life had fallen into chaos. Fortunately, her memories were replaying every day she had lived through those years. This taught him how to use the washing machine and showed him that even the placement of shoes required such careful thought. Suddenly, she looked in his direction. It was because on that day, he had passed by the house several times without going in. Following his wife, he learned to make dumplings and how to keep a home neat and organized. Only now did he realize how monotonous housework could be when done alone. He also discovered his wife's secret, where she hid her private savings. He watched as she dressed up carefully. Where was she going? Following her to an upscale restaurant where she dined alone on fine cuisine, he realized his wife's pleasures were so simple. Most of her savings had been deposited into their daughter's account. One day, his wife went to a park. An elderly person who frequented the area told him, "Your wife must have been very happy. She once told me that her husband would wave to her from the train on his way home." After all these years, his wife was still keeping the promise they'd made as newlyweds. He confided about his wife to his friend, who reminded him, "Since what you're seeing is your wife's shadow from 3 years ago, one day you'll face that painful separation again." He understood, of course. So, to live every last moment with his wife's memories, he quit his job. Suddenly one evening, his wife disappeared. He remembered. This was the day she had gotten lost. Back then, he hadn't even bothered to look for her. The police had found her and brought her home the next day. After that day, her condition began to deteriorate. She couldn't even remember the way home anymore. The time she spent staring blankly at home grew longer and longer. Suddenly, she smiled. She had seen news about a baby gorilla being born at the zoo. He was 26 when he proposed to her in front of those very gorillas. Despite forgetting even her family members' names, his wife still deeply remembered their proposal day. Soon came their daughter's wedding day. The father shared the story of these 3 years with his wife's memory shadow. But when he was about to describe his wife's final day, his daughter unexpectedly interrupted him. She knew that last day was when her mother died, and she believed she had caused her mother's death because she hadn't let her mother leave the house that day.